Okay, what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to start using my squeegee, okay? And first of all, I'm going to use my boiler.
Your who?
My boiler. Okay. And this is the one with the blue, which is a nice thin, and I'm going to squeeze and just make some lines.
And what is in that?
It's Gamasol. And one thing that you want to do every time you use your oiler boiler, after you're finished, squeeze a little bit out on the paper towel so you know it's not clogged up. I'm going to do a little bit of sprinkling with it as well. And when you use the oiler boiler, you want it on for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now this, on the multimedia board, is fairly wet. If it was on a very dry, I would leave it on longer. And then you're going to pull it with your squeegee. So I'm going to leave it just for another couple seconds. And if you didn't let it on long enough, you'll know it. And when you're pulling, you want to pull from an angle. In other words, I'm not going to go straight down because I would pull off the paint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go at an angle with a little bit of pressure, not a lot of pressure. You can see what happens. It just pulled it off. It just gave me some marks for history. Are you with me so far?
Yep.
Now, I can let it on. I'm going to let it on. I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to let it on just a little bit longer.
Because it got drier?
No, I wanted to go down to white.
Oh. Oh. And so how many colors do you have on that piece of paper?
Just one. This is the multimedia board that we just put.
You want to go down to the surface?
Right.
Okay.
So I'm going to let that one on just a little bit longer to see if I can go down to white, and I should be able to. If you use orange terpene as opposed to Gamasol, the orange terpene is a stronger solvent, and it's non-toxic. Orange terpene is what the kitchens use to clean their griddles and things like that. It's non-toxic, and the Gamasol is non-toxic as well. So I'm just going to let it on just for a couple more seconds and see if we can get.
If we forget about it, will it just eat through down to the bottom?
Actually, it'll just evaporate. But of course, you know, before it evaporates, the longer you let it on, the further down it's going to go.
Could you catch that on fire and get that varnish thinners they do in hot wax and other media?
You don't put heat to cold wax because there's solvent in cold wax. There's no solvent in hot wax. There's solvent in this. That's why you do not heat it.
And when I studied in Santa Fe, I studied with a woman named Trambiani, and she said she heated the cold wax, and both Juan Luis Bernal, and Linda were aghast because
Right.
it can go on fire. It is
Absolutely, it's something that you don't want to do. Now, what I can do, it still didn't go down to white, but what I can do is I can retrace my line in certain areas.
And what are you using now? Are you using
The same thing.
Oh,
I'm using the same thing.
You're determined.
Yeah, I mean, and I do this a lot in my own, in my work. On my panels, what I'll do, if it doesn't go down far enough, I'll just retrace some of my lines, and I know it will, at that point, go down further. Okay, let's try this, and we're going to pull it one more time. Again, every time you pull, you want to wipe your squeegee as well. Okay. Can you see where it's a lot lighter in some areas
Yes.
and darker in other
And I see
areas?
white peeking through.
Right,
for
here and
instance,
there.
like there.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to start working this piece with different colors. And I'm going to use my squeegee.
So in effect, you're just incising that
Pardon me?
solvent. You're incising the board with the solvent.
Right. And always be wiping your squeegee. Keep it clean. Some of the things that I look for, I try to do big, medium, and small shapes. I don't want all my shapes to be the same size. This is a big shape. These are medium shapes. That's a smaller shape, but I am still going to go in with an even smaller shape. Now I'm going to go into it with another color.
I had a teacher, and she had us put two colors on our calendar paper
Uh-huh.
and work with three colors until almost the very end. And she came by my easel and said, "Ann, those are really ugly colors."
Oh, no.
that I had chosen. And she made me laugh. I mean, some people were afraid of her, but I don't know, I just got her. And
Yeah.
I really liked her a lot, and she made me laugh, so I laughed, and I said, you know, I actually like them. I think it'll be okay. So. But I
Yeah.
never had a teacher tell me I was using ugly colors before.
That's a new one.
You almost wonder how can any color be ugly, but you know, it's all in nature, isn't it?
Yep. And can you see how I'm overlaying color on top of color? I'm going to use some black. Your favorite color.
Right, I'm always like, oh, don't put black in it, don't put black in it. Why did you do that?
My colors are kind of dull. I don't like my colors at all.
Well, you said you hadn't used burnt umber before.
I know. I don't. I'm not crazy about these colors. They're very dull.
Does it just need more white to pop?
Yep. I'm gonna end up putting more white in it. Ugly. Colors are ugly. I've never used such ugly colors in my life. And these are very dull, muted colors. I need to make up some more white.
So let me ask you this, if you're standing there and you're thinking, yikes,
Right.
can you just take your squeegee and scrape off what you've done?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Before it dries?
Can I borrow some of your white?
From where I sit, you need that lighter blue.
Yeah, I'm going to end up with that. But these are too muddy. I'm going to see if I can brighten those up a little bit.
That's better
Yep.
from here.
You would not take a brush?
You
You
can.
don't want to see the brush marks?
You can take a brush. Absolutely, you could take a brush.
You need a credit card.
I'll use a little bit more.
I was telling Anna about Lorraine on the way up, and her new work is amazing.
Whose?
Lorraine,
Mm.
Lesnar, her new work.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
You can take a class, she has an opening. You only have to go to Canada. And she's teaching something at R&F in December,
Where's our now?
upstate New York.
It's in Kingston, New York.
Oh, my parents used to have a house near
Is that the Hudson Valley?
there. No, it's north of the Hudson Valley. It's near Woodstock. But Woodstock took place 60 miles away from Woodstock in Bethel.
But they say taking those R&F classes are fun because everyone is their pace.
See, that's helped.
A lot.
A lot, yeah. So now you're using up some of these colors. You have to make them again or not.
If I want to, I can, because I know how to make them.
Yeah. For me, it would be a stretch to make them again.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. You think it would, but it wouldn't.
From here, it needs a pop of orange.
Yeah, well, like I said, at the end, if you want to add another color, that's when you do it.
And you have to put wax in, right? You can't just.
Absolutely, you
All right.
always put wax in it.
Okay.
I don't know where my palette knife is. I'll use yours.
And I was using Paolina's.
I'm just going to use it for a second.
That's fine. It's yours.
I want to make some more of that light blue, so I'm going to use some of this and some white.
Can you just add that because the other one has the wax?
Nope, I will put wax in it. Always put wax in it.
What happens if you keep the shine and you don't put enough wax and it just comes off, it degrades?
No, what happens, it will just take a lot longer to dry, because
Oh.
there'll be more
So
oil.
it's not as though it ruins your painting?
No,
It's just that it takes longer to dry.
It just takes longer to dry if you don't put enough of wax
That's
in.
good to know.
Yeah. Now I need more wax. See how it's taking the shine away?
So when it gets chalky is when you use it.
Not necessarily. You can just tell by the feel of it.
Well, not yet, not for me yet.
Yeah, well, that's because you're still new to it.
Yeah, completely new.
Right. And I just want to make this just a little bit lighter. Pardon
The
me?
$50 million question is, when is it done?
When is it done? When you feel that you can't improve it.
That's easier said than done.
Pardon me?
That's easier said than done.
Not if you paint a while.
Well, no, it's any art medium. How do you know when you're done?
When you can't put, for me, when I can't put another dab of paint on it.
I'm gonna have to come to your house.
I once kept something in my home studio for about a month because it wasn't done, but I had no idea what to do. And then at 2:30 in the morning, it came to me. And in the morning, I ran into my studio and I took a brush with a little bit of red on it and I put it here.
That
And
was
then I
it.
signed it and it was done. I just knew it wasn't done. I needed that, surprise.
Now, I am going to take a skewer, and you each have a skewer. I'll put it on your table.
Let me get to write in there.
And what I'm going to do is, without looking, I'm going to scribble. So I'm going to look away, and I'm going to scribble into this. Okay, so I'm going to put it down and scribble. Okay?
Can we even see what you did? I don't see
Yeah.
it from here.
Yep. Now, I do want to, this line, I do want to bring it out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to mess that up a little bit. Because you do not want it to look like it's the last thing that you did. I'm going to go in there, mess it up. Use a little bit of this. Mess it up. Now, you say you think it just needs a pop of orange. Is that what you said?
From here, to my taste,
And you know what? I agree with you. I'm going to take a little bit of orange.
but from here it's a completely different than what you've been seeing.
Oh, yes. Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Now I'm going to put a little bit of cold wax to that orange. And I mean, there's just a tiny little bit there. See how?
Rather southwest.
See how that extended that orange paint?
Yeah, look at how much.
I mean, it
paint
was
is
just,
that.
it was not even a pea size.
Right.
Now I have to decide which is front, which is,
Do you want me to hold it up so you can see?
no.
I don't know how people can look down and see something.
Now, when you add a different color like that, you either want it in one place or three. So,
Five.
That's the Fibonacci number.
yeah.
Never
That's
four.
Fibonacci. That would have been great to need to go.
I know. Wasn't he brilliant? They called him the fool.
I know, isn't that amazing?
And you know, I don't know if I like that. I'm going to put a little white into it. Make it lighter.
You don't like it because it's too, that's better. There are, it's done, $80, $90, it's yours.
Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the tape off immediately. It's going to look much different with the tape off because all of a sudden you're going to see a nice margin. Pull this off first. This is not one of my best. And it's my colors. Colors
And
are,
now you never have to do it again because you worked, you tried it.
yeah, and I didn't like it.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna do it again.
Okay. I do want to do one other thing, and something that I do in all of my paintings that makes my paintings mine is that all of my paintings have a line down the side. That's kind of my signature. So here we go.
Where do you sign your wax?
You don't. You sign it on the back. And when you're taking your tape off, be real careful that you don't mess up that margin. See that nice clean margin? You get it. And when I hold it down, now I'm going to hold it down with a clean paper towel.
Oh, that's much smaller now, isn't it?
Pardon me?
I thought we were just supposed to use the very edge, take the
That's
very
what I thought,
edge.
but it was the interior.
That's why I wanted to help you with, and you just thought, you said you didn't want to do it, so I thought,
It's too
okay.
tedious. Sorry, I don't have that much of an attention span.
See, once you take that tape off,
It's different from this.
absolutely
It makes a painting.
makes a painting. Yep, because all of a sudden now you do have,
You have a frame.
You have something.
You have it
that
framed.
almost did that.
Look at that. Look what you pulled out.
well, it always looks better after you take the tape off.
I'm really astounded at what you pulled out.
Now I'm going to hold it up in different ways, and you tell me which way you like it. I'm looking at it with this at the top, so I'm going to turn it around. You tell me which way you like it.
Really nice. Okay, that's one way. Yeah. Possible.
This is the way it's going to be,
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
And I tell you why it looks better.
It's detail high and mass low.
Right. Usually where your pop is, your focus is, whatever, your heaviness with an abstract usually looks better on the top. I like it.
I like it.
Well, I thought you didn't.
Huh?
I thought you didn't.
Oh, no, I like it now.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
And the colors are very interesting. And see how all the colors blend together?
It's all very
Because
Southwest.
it's very harmonious. Your palette is very harmonious.
And who would've- I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked, but I mean.
Yeah, I
shocked at
understand.
children's order, but I mean,
And so,
Now.
and what I'll do now,
So,
what I'll do now is my husband will put a mat around it, and I'll put
he
it.
cuts them.
Yeah, he cuts my mats, but you can go to AC Moore or Michael's and get a mat, and put around it,
how nice.
and then I sell it in the gallery. This will go for $50.
And when will that be dry? Next week?
It'll be dry in about 4 days, dry enough for him to mat it. So that's what I want you to do with your multimedia board. I want you to just play around with it, and don't get disgusted, because once you take that tape off, you're going to be amazed at what you have.